Sure.
In the meanwhile, tell me about about VChain. In fact, what exactly is it that we are up to in VChain?
Sorry, what was the question?
Yeah, let me clarify that. Uh, could you share some of your experiences of VChain in the meanwhile, for our audience before we get started to the lecture?
Sure, sure. So
Hmm.
I'm Peter Zhou. I'm the chief scientist of VChain. I think I joined VChain in 2017, before we launched our mainnet blockchain. So I'm in charge of the core dev team as well as the internal research team. I've been heavily involved in the design and implementation of our VChain Thor blockchain. Um, yeah, that's me. And also, before I joined VChain, I was a university researcher in the areas of machine learning and computer vision for about 10 years.
Right. So that
Yeah,
is a
that's
long
about.
period. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's quite a
yeah.
long period. I was actually meaning to ask you about that. A lot of people here are from CS background, from computer science background, and they might get a lot of knowledge from your research background. So I think maybe if you can shed some light as to how it has been, or what exactly uh, what exactly is your experience of being a scientist. So I believe everybody would like to hear that for sure.
Okay. All right. So I did my PhD in UK, from the Southampton University. So I mean, during my undergraduate study, I was kind of like interested in image processing. So I was looking for opportunities for research positions in the university. Then I'm very lucky. I got a position from the Southampton University that I moved to there, and go straight to the PhD study. So it's kind of like doing research is kind of like building your ability to do research. You kind of need to understand the problem and learning the problem solving skills. Also, learn to write papers. It's very important because you need to present your work clearly and allow people to understand the importance of your work. Also, you need to build up like communication skills, and also you need to communicate with other researchers and collect ideas and share ideas with them. Um, and then after my graduation, I kind of like want to continue my research in the area. So I looked for university research jobs. I worked for two universities, one in UK and one in Finland. So they both have a very strong group in the areas of computer vision and machine learning. Yeah, I kind of like enjoy my research career.
It
Um,
sounds interesting. Definitely, it sounds interesting.
yeah, yeah, but I joined VChain. Part of the reason is like I spent too much time in research in the academic world, and I want some challenge for myself, and also um, yeah, also the blockchain is a quite new topic, and I see a lot of potential and opportunities for me. So I just joined the VChain,
Great.
and I'm glad I made a very pretty good choice.
Definitely, definitely. And you have been in VChain since 5 years now, right? Uh, right. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. At the same time, I'm wondering here, and I invite everybody. I invite every participant here to please ask some questions, right? So that maybe we can share some of the experiences that we have in our blockchain space, and we welcome every question here, and we'll try to answer as with as much clarity as possible, right? And coming back to you again, so uh, you know um, I'm really curious as to because you were in image processing field for a very long period of time, right? So what made your mind to shift to blockchain? And
Well, I have to
like,
be very honest, like,
mm,
when, um, machine learning and image processing, you
yes,
need a lot of data. So
yes,
nowadays, all the data are owned by big companies. So you need the resources to carry out, continue your research if you want to make something, pretty good. So there's a lot of bottlenecks for machine learning and computer vision image processing researchers. So that's something I met in university. So it troubled me a lot. So I want to change. So I want to move to the industry to see to improve myself. Um, and then I think at the time of 2016, I met Sunny, the CEO of VeChain, because actually we came from the same university. So we had a we had a chat. We had a very nice chat. He introduced the blockchain to me. At the time, I didn't know anything about blockchain. So as a researcher, you kind of like you have a curiosity for everything you don't
yes,
know, right? So I started
yes,
to I started to do a little bit of research about blockchain. Try to understand the theories and the code behind the blockchain. I found it interesting. The structure of the blockchain, the blockchain. They just put the different components from different areas, and suddenly you got amazing results, and it can solve a lot of real world problems. So, and also then in 2017, Sunny and other guys, they are trying to found the VChain team. So they need a scientist,
right.
and they reached me. So I said, why not? I like the topic. Um, I like the challenge. It's a new team. It's a very new experience for me. So I just joined the startup, and yeah, here I am.
Is there any question, Abhishek? Guys, please, you can feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions. Uh, right. Or you can also ask questions in the chat box. It is open for everybody. Right.
Yeah, also, joining a new area, doing something in new area is very challenging because, I was not a professional programmer, so I need to learn a lot of things because I'm in charge of a team of developers. They are professional. They have a lot of big experiences, so I need to guide them.
Right.
So I learned a lot from them. Also, they also learn something from me. Uh, because I'm a researcher, I have a methodology of doing things like doing research, tackle new problems. So we both share a lot of experiences. That's pretty good to me.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think as a researcher, what's important is to find new boundaries, new areas that we can, jump into and get towards it. So even, sharing some of my experiences, I even stepped into blockchain in such a way only. I was really curious to understand what exactly is all the buzz about. So I myself started, developing stuff on blockchain since a long time ago. I think I have been in touch with cryptocurrencies for about 7 years now.
Okay,
So quite a
that's
long
quite a long
time.
time. Yeah,
Yeah, it's quite a long time
yeah,
now.
even
I've
longer than me.
been, yeah, I've been in touch since the beginning, but I've never started developing on it because I was not a developer before. Right. So my interest in development, it peaked roughly three years back, and now here we are. Like we're talking about blockchain, where we were from very different fields, I believe, right? And we stepped into blockchain. So I think this is something of a very key takeaway. Anybody that is here in this session today is welcomed in the blockchain space. Whenever somebody, a lot of people here are aspiring developers, and a lot of them, they want to step into blockchain, but they do not really know how they can step into blockchain. So as a guide, as a mentor, would you be would you like to answer this question, how a developer can step into blockchain?
Sure, sure, of course.
Yeah.
I think you have many choices. Like every layer one public blockchain, they have an ecosystem. So I think pretty much everyone welcomes new developers to join the ecosystem, and they will have programs for newcomers. For example, for VChain, we have a VChain grant program. I think it could be a good start. I think I will talk about it in my presentation, so I just briefly mention it. You will get like 30K USD if the maximum up to 30K USD if your application is attracting and accepted by the grant committee. So yeah, that could be a good start, and then you can use the money to build the applications and tools, and then you get exposed to the ecosystem, other users, other projects, and I think if the stuff you're building is really it has the value, it could grow within the ecosystem, and you can get once you expose to other more and more other resources, you can get other funding from venture capitals or some donors donors in the ecosystem, and that's it. I think you can grow it.
Yeah, definitely. I think the size of the grant is also good. Like if anywhere between 5K from a micro grants to a major one, right, to 30,000 K, I think such an offering can definitely bring developers forward. Now, guys, if you guys are listening, $30,000, quite a big amount. Please be attentive. Ask as many questions as you
Yeah,
want to right now, right?
I think before you apply for the grant, you better uh, get yourself the skills and knowledge of the blockchain first, and you need to understand the blockchain, the mechanisms of blockchain. You need to understand the transactions and how it works, because it's a distributed network. So some of the logics is it's a bit different from the traditional the applications program. So you need to understand that, and then you need to master the tools to building so-called DApps, decentralized applications, and once you master all the skills, then you can think about you can get ideas about what you want to build. Then once you have a solid idea, then you can start to apply. I think yeah, we are not going to turn down any solid ideas.
That's definitely a good thing, and a good thing for everybody that is here. Please, if you guys have any ideas that you want to build, if there are some experienced people in this call, if they have some ideas, they can definitely come forward and share their ideas with us, and maybe we could comment or help either way, right? I think it's the same for everybody here, right?
Yeah.
There are
Also, I have some feelings like sometimes the team needs some people from the business side, because um, once you have the idea, you need to figure out how your idea turns into a solid business or a solid application. You need to
yes,
think about how you're going to make money, how you're going to survive, and continue your business. So it's not bad to include somebody from the business school and have discussions, not just tech guys. Tech guys focus on programming codes, but sometimes they kind of missing the business side. So yeah, that is one of my that's I would suggest you guys to do.
definitely. Also, there are some questions here. There is one that resonates with what we are talking right now. And I also was about to ask this question. This question is by Nikhil Mishra. How was your journey during the initial days going down the lane when you were a mere beginner? Like, what are the resources that you suggest for these developers right now in today's age that they can use to get the grasp of blockchain?
Uh, well, there are a lot of resources online for there are a lot, there are kind of like free documents. Every project is building like document centers for their
Okay.
projects, and you will have most of them will have sections for general introduction of blockchain, the ideas behind blockchain. Then you will find the documentation for the tools, which will be used to develop in the ecosystem. So I would suggest you follow the documentation center and see what you can get. Also, I think a lot of the projects, the apps, they are open source. That's pretty good. Like in the blockchain space, many people only trust open source projects. So a lot of projects, they are open sourced, but
Yes.
particularly those smart contracts. So you can have a look at open source smart contracts to learn, look at the code and, have a look at the logics, also the way people program, and you can learn a lot. And then you just practice, right? There are also tools for like a programming frameworks and tools for newcomers, beginners to start to try. You don't need to pay. You can run a local blockchain node on a computer. Then you can start to program, build smart contracts, implement the smart contracts, do the debuggings, and then to see how everything goes on the blockchain.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. This is one of the best methods. Specifically, the open source code is one of the best methods that one can use for learning about blockchain or smart contracts, specifically about smart contracts. So let me share one of my experiences as well here. When I was building smart contracts, right? So I started with the simple ones that are open source, like the simple fund contracts, Kickstarter contracts, something like that. I started with that, right? And as I kept on building it and understanding a lot of other contracts, so I'm right now able to understand contracts of Aave as well as contracts of Chainlink. Like I can understand oracles as well as I can understand yield protocols at the same time. So this is from very basic storage contracts to this has been quite a journey, definitely. So
Yeah,
one
sure.
of the best things I believe is this. Definitely. Thank you so much for sharing that. We also have an idea here in the chat box by Abhishirish Sachan. Can we use this blockchain technology in future to conduct elections, mainly in democratic countries like India? But that I believe is one and the same thing. Yeah.
Well, I think definitely blockchain technologies, I think, can be used for election, for voting. One of the good things, everything is transparent on blockchain, so it's easier for everybody um, to look at his or her own votes, or also for third party certified to verify the results. Yeah, sure. But for Indian with such a big population, I think you need to. There's a lot of technical problem you need to solve before you can move the election to the blockchain. The scalability problem, because everybody gonna vote. Um, the blockchain gonna process a lot of data at the same time simultaneously, and also I don't know whether there's any. I think you guys Indians should have a law about privacy, so you need to make sure everything is compliant with the law. You need to apply some techniques to hide people's identity, make sure there's no data leaked. So in theory, I think blockchain is perfect for election, but in practice, there's still a long way to go. There's many technical problems you need to solve.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Although for general knowledge for people here, Maharashtra, a state in India, they have actually implemented it not for elections but for COVID certificates. So they are sanctioning COVID certificates on blockchain. So this is something that Indian government has an initiative for. It's only in Maharashtra. So you guys can feel free and have a look around that and see what all initiatives have been taken care of, right? So now Yogita has a question: is programming required starting with blockchain? Yes, but if I go more specific into it, what exactly a developer might need to get started? What programming languages a developer might need to get started?
Um, for smart contract, the most common popular one is the Solidity.
Right, right.
So you can develop smart contracts and deploy on any blockchain, running EVM, Ethereum virtual machine. Um, Also, you need to learn probably the JavaScript. You can use JavaScript to test your smart contract to interact with your smart contract. Also, for front end, you also need the JavaScript um, to to interact with the blockchain. Also, for front end developers, other things like kind of like normal programming skills you need to develop an application. I think very important thing is you understand the mechanism of blockchain. It's not like it's a bit unique. So you need to understand, it's a synchronous system. So um, the transactions, the coming and the going of the transaction is not guaranteed to be successful, or if you are dealing with a normal database, you kind of like uh, think the interaction with database is fine. You don't need to worry about that. But in blockchain, you kind of like interact with um, a decentralized system, and your request to read and write is not guaranteed to be processed. So you need to understand that, and you need to put the logics in your applications to make sure everything is going to be correct.
Absolutely. There is a question by Harsh. Today, machine learning and blockchain are some of the emerging technologies. I want to ask Peter how he sees the future of integration of these two technologies. Are there any possibilities of integration, and what could be the possible applications? Now, this is a good question. What are the possible integrations of machine learning and blockchain?
Um, well, for the near future, I can't see a machine learning system running on blockchain, but blockchain can definitely play something in the machine learning system. So blockchain is provide a source of trust. So in machine learning, a lot of time, the credibility of data might be problematic. So the blockchain can be used to solve that. You can save a proof on the blockchain to verify the data you are using, or the data you uploaded or you contributed. Also, a blockchain is a good way to incentivize people to join, to provide their data, for example, or to join the whole project. It's a good way to, through tokens or through other, ways of incentives. So it's because the whole system will be transparent. People can see there is no like tricky stuff or black box. So people kind of more like more willing to trust the project, and and they get instantly paid through tokens within the ecosystem. Maybe I can say that is the way, that's a possible way blockchain can be used for machine learning.
There is one other question, uh, and that is on blockchain research by Nanu. Any ideas for blockchain research and application to higher education or education in general? Is there any blockchain ideas for higher education or for education in general?
Well, I've seen people moving their like graduation certificate to blockchain and
Yeah,
turn it into NFT. Um, and also, um, I I think the university should start the courses for people to learn blockchain, to understand blockchain. For blockchain research, yeah, I think there are more and more researchers, they are coming to the blockchain
Right.
the research areas, and it's quite active actually recently. I've seen new blockchain conference and journals. Um, it's going to be a big field for researchers in future, I think.
Right. Uh, there is another. I think after this question, maybe we can take some of my questions. Right. I want the audience to clarify their questions first. Uh, can we deploy smart contracts on Bitcoin network? I think we might have to clarify because some of the audience here is new. I think we might have to clarify some of the concepts about virtual machine and contracts here. Please do the honors. Yeah.
Yeah, I think smart contracts is just a piece of code that you can run on blockchain. The piece of code is fixed on blockchain, so nobody can change it. And the correction of running the piece of code is guaranteed by the blockchain. So everybody can run the smart contract, and everybody is guaranteed to get a correct answer from the smart contract. So you can sort of like deploy smart contract on Bitcoin network through Bitcoin is a bit different from Ethereum or other account-based blockchain networks, but you can still do a little bit like coding in a Bitcoin network, but it's difficult and costly. So I don't see many people doing that. So yeah, Bitcoin is I think it's a source of value at the moment, and people all agree that. So it's expensive. So I don't see many people doing that. Like deploy smart contract on Bitcoin network.
Right. Definitely. Uh, I wanted to know how blockchain, now a question by Gauri Shankar. I wanted to know how blockchain can help in the sector of rural development.
I think from a financial point of view, blockchain can do a lot for poor people. Like a lot of people don't have access to bank accounts and to banking services. Blockchain can certainly help them, through tokens, through the open protocol financial, the open financial protocols. Yeah, I think at the moment, a lot of many projects they are pushing that, and I think at Cardano they are doing projects in Africa and helping people to get access to bank accounts.
Okay.
I think technology-wise, blockchain can help people um, to get some kind of trust for them to do business. I think it's easier for the third party. If you have blockchain, you can get different stakeholders and to join a small ecosystem, and because the data is there, and it cannot be tempered. So it's more easier to for them to verify data. It's easier for third party verifier to join the ecosystem to provide a verification certification to like, for example, small farmers or small business holders. And once they get this, they might it might be easier for them to get the funding, get a money from banks or from other investors and something like that. I think definitely blockchain is going to help the small business and the poor people.
I believe there are some green initiatives that VChain has also taken up. Would you mind shedding some light on that too?
Sure. So I think I just want to talk about one project. It's called RISI. The purpose is to encourage people. We have a lot of plastic in the sea, so we want to encourage people, especially those poor people in Southeast Asia, to collect those plastic. Then they get rewarded. But the problem is that it's like people are a lot of like they fake the data so they can get more money. So we built this project with DMV, a very big third-party certifier in the world, and the project is called RISI. So we got funding from big companies. They'd like to contribute to the sustainability, contribute to cleaning the sea plastics. And then with the blockchain, we can we can contract the local small certifiers to do certification and upload data in a real time. So it will be much more difficult for people to manipulate data, and then also because it's on blockchain, it's going to be transparent, and the contributor will be much happier to pay the money to for this much ocean cleaning work. So I think through this program, we've collected a lot of plastics, and we create jobs in the local community, society in the Southeast Asia countries. I think that's a good example. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. That is really, a great initiative taken up by VChain. I'll love to know more about some of the other initiatives that VChain has taken up. Not in, not specific to this sector itself. Maybe in some other sectors, maybe in financial sector as well. So, feel free to share some of the things about VChain.
Yeah. Let me share my screen actually.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes, yes, I can.
Stop, ignore. Yeah. So yeah. So I that is the RISI projects I just mentioned. This is slide for that. Also, we have a strong community. We have a community with a lot of developers, and these developers, they came up with some pretty good ideas. So I want to share 3 projects with you guys. One project is called the VChain Stats. It's the Explorer. So it's a blockchain explorer. So they pretty much put a lot of information inside the website. Actually, I can let me. Oops. How can I? Whatever. So as you can see, this explorer is very rich. The content is very rich, and you have the information from the blockchain. You have the information from different tokens running on the blockchain. You have NFTs information. Also, they have built tools for users to manage their tokens. Yeah, and it's becoming a real business, and also it's got investment from the VChain Foundation, because it's become it becomes the very important infrastructure in the ecosystem. Also, there's a NFT project called a World of V. The founder of the project is a big our token holder. Is a big VET token holder. Our token is called VET. It's a big VET token holders, and they have a connection with different artists in Europe, and they invited the artists to join the projects they are running to mint their work as NFTs on the platform. Also, they turned their platform into a marketplace, turned into a launch pad for other NFT projects. I think they are doing pretty well at the moment. Our NFT community is booming right now. I've seen so many NFT projects right now. And another project called the VChain Energy. So one of our blockchain feature is called a fee delegation. The idea comes from our experience of working with enterprises, because enterprises, they at the moment uh, they have a difficulty dealing with tokens, because there's no clear accounting rules or asset manage methodology for them to hold tokens. Um, but they need a token to pay the transactions running on the blockchain. So we have developed a protocol called a fee delegation. So it allows, basically allows someone to pay for a transaction easily. So we have this protocol implemented on a blockchain, and these guys, they running their own business, like they are providing fee delegation service for other projects, for other enterprises, and they made it very easier. They provide the easy APIs for other projects. Um, you know, we have once you have the API, you can easily insert this API inside the libraries we built for like a constructed transaction, selling transaction, etc. So people can um, can can send their transaction without paying tokens. That's sometimes very good for projects to onboard new users or onboard ordinary users, because they don't know much about blockchain, about tokens, and they certainly don't know how to acquire tokens from the exchange. So I think they're doing pretty well as well, and these are three examples of the projects managed by community developers. Um, also, we have also we have two decentralized exchange, two DEXs, and these two DEXs are all managed by community. So a lot of the infrastructure, like interesting applications running on VChain, they are all came from the community. So I'm pretty proud of that, and I can see that is why I'm here. I'm talking to you guys because we're kind of like want more developers to join our ecosystem. So for any, as I said, for any solid idea, the Vision Foundation is going to be definitely supportive. Right. Okay. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, definitely. We can hear you.
Right. I stop ranting for now.
Yeah. So that is great. Yes, and uh, you know, I think that a lot of people here, they might have this question, and I don't know why they have not asked it yet. That how can they get started, or how can they, get to, uh, you know, start building some contracts on VChain?
Because as I said, we are running EVM. So we are running EVM on VChain. So you can use the tools, from the Ethereum ecosystem. Like, for example, you use Solidity language to build contracts. There are many there are many framework for you to testing, deploying, and debugging your smart contract, like a truffle, like a hot hat.
Right.
We also have the plugins for this framework, and once you install a framework, you can use the framework to deploy contracts and testing contract on VChain. I think for this kind of information, it's the best way to go is to visit vchain.org. There's a doc center, and within the doc center there will be resources. Let me find the link. Maybe I can paste in there.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
All right. So you can have a look at this page. There's a lot of resources there about tours like wallets or other libraries. You can have a look. But before that, if you know nothing about programming on blockchain, you better do some course to learn Solidity, to try to master to use the framework. Then you start to look at the resource in the link I pasted. Then you can try VeChain. You can download the blockchain nodes and run a single solo node on your local computer, and to see the difference between VeChain and Ethereum, to understand the libraries we developed for our own protocol. Yeah, and also I would strongly recommend you to join the Telegram group. We have a Telegram group for developers. Hold on. And I think most of our I just pasted in the chat channel. Most of the core dev team, they're in the group, they're in the channel. So they are if they are still awake, of course, they will be respond to the questions related to programming, or how to use the tools to program for on VeChain.
Yeah, that's great. So, guys, if you have any questions regarding the session, or if you guys have any question otherwise about VeChain, please go ahead. You can join this Telegram channel, and you can ask your questions there. And at the same time, we will also be available to you on this Telegram channel to answer your queries. Most of the VeChain code dev is also available there, so you guys need not worry about any of the questions that you might have, right?
Yeah, also I'm gonna paste the Gram program link. It is hosted on GitHub. So there are 5 people committee. I'm one of them. So if every application will be online and transparent. So the committee will get together once a month and review all the new applications, and there will be internal vote for each application. So you don't have to wait like ages to get the results. So it's just once a month, usually at the end of every month, and then you will get a reason why your project will be rejected by our admin. So yeah, you can ask questions, whatever. Yeah, and I think it's a good start. We also have I think we are also working with a Draper. There's it's a Draper. It's a US Draper. They have their own program called Draper University. From time to time, we were like together with Draper University to host a so-called accelerator program. So the program will invite people from everywhere to join the university. So you will have 4 weeks program. If you accept it, your application accepted, and you were at the end of the program, you will have a chance to present your project, your idea based on your idea, and then there will be a demo day, so you can present your ideas, present your projects, and there will be people judging whether there's values from your project, and they will be then 10 projects will be selected, and it will be will be funded 100K USD, and then the Draper will follow up the projects and to see whether there's any like potential in future, and if there is, they would kind of like invite other VCs to have a look at the projects and to do like another round of funding, something like that. So I would suggest you guys to follow our official VeChain official like Twitter Twitter account, so you get this news from the foundation. Oh, there.
Great, great. And if you can, share the Twitter link as well. Everybody's here, they can just grab their phones, do that right now even.
Hold on. It's called. Oops. It's called VChain Official. It's VChain Official. Yes.
Great, great, great.
Yeah. You can also find me on Twitter. So yeah, you can also follow me. You can also follow our CEO Sunny and our CTO Antonio, and you get pretty much everything, every news from us and VChain Official. We are also doing hackathons from time to time, so there will be definitely chances for you guys to join and share the prize.
Amazing, great. So Peter, we have some questions here. I believe we can take that up, and if there are some questions, maybe we can take further them up, and mostly we can end this conversation after all these questions. One question, it is by Nanu. VeChain, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Hyperledger, Fabric, and probably many more. Which blockchain to follow? Can all these blockchain infrastructures interface with each other? Okay.
Well, for these, I think, as I explained, Bitcoin is kind of like a source of value. So
yes.
it's kind of an alternative investment type already.
Absolutely.
So there's not much like space for developers for Bitcoin. Hyperledger, it's a private blockchain, and I don't see I don't see it has much potential for future. So in my opinion, you definitely need to follow Ethereum. It has the biggest ecosystem, community for developers, and it has many smart people, smart developers. They have, they constantly have new ideas. For VeChain, of course, I would encourage you guys to follow up, and I can see a lot of opportunities for VeChain. Yeah. So for these two, I just you need to you probably need to follow Ethereum and VeChain.
Right. If a blockchain, okay, there is another one here. Why did VeChain choose proof of authority over proof of stake? And does it push VeChain towards a centralized side? I want to know the intention behind. Okay, so basically the question is why VeChain is on proof of authority over proof of stake.
Of course. It is we choose proof of authority, based on some historical reason, because as I said, we started our projects with we at the beginning we started as a team to build private chain consortium blockchain based solution for enterprises to solve some supply chain problems. So we talked to the enterprise a lot to understand their concerns. So one of their concerns is about the stability of the blockchain, because the protocol, like back to 2017, it's Ethereum and Bitcoin, and every time the protocol get every time you have someone want to upgrade the protocol, you have a lot of troubles. There's there's a debate in the community. There's a drama in the community about someone there always somebody want to keep it as it is, or someone want to upgrade it. So we choose the proof of authority to balance the the efficiency and decentralization. We don't believe a pure decentralized network gonna work for enterprise. So we choose the proof of authority. It gives us a quite good balance. We have like a 101 nodes running our protocol as a validator. Their identity they went through the KYC from the VChain Foundation. We understand who they are, and if they did anything bad, we have the because everything is on blockchain, we have the proof, and we can go legal method against them. Also, the 101 nodes, they provide a lot of a certain level of decentralization. And talking about that, if you think about the proof of stakes, at the end of the day, people will delegate their tokens to some nodes and do the voting. So actually, in reality, in theory, you can have many people voting in proof of stake, but in reality, you only have like dozens of nodes. They are delegators. They have a lot of powers in voting. Also, for even in proof of work, we did some research. You only have like dozens of, no more than 20, like mining pools. They have superpowers in terms of computational computation capability, and they have powers in the protocol. So it's a lot of things when in theory can be purely decentralized, but in reality, there will be always centralization. So I think we choose a proof of authority for good reasons, and also the proof of authority, because there's no competition for mining, so it reduces a lot of electricity usage of our blockchain. So it turns our blockchain to be one of the greenest blockchain in the world. We did invite third-party verifier to do the verification, and it turns out we are very green, and it supports our major strategy for like going sustainability in future. That is one of our main business strategy. Also, recently we constantly I'm leading a research team, and we did a lot of research on consensus, particularly proof of authority. So we are upgrading our consensus during the past year, and we kind of introduce some more robust resources for randomness inside the protocol, make it much more difficult for people to crack the system. Also, we are going to introduce finalities in the protocol, so the blockchain can be finalized. The blocks can be finalized, and it provides absolute security for our users, and so make it more easier for our blockchain to be used in applications with certain require high levels of security. Yeah, that is why we choose authority, proof of authority. Yeah.
Great. I think there is one more question. I'll rephrase the question by Satyam. Probably, what they want to know is basically if there are any openings in VChain and how can they apply.
Sorry, what's the question?
Yeah, if there are some openings in VChain and how can they apply?
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
We have you can send VChain. I hope that's right. You can send your applications to this, and also there will be job openings information on our website.
VChain.org.
Yeah, and if for example I'm going to I have some job opening, I will certainly post it on Twitter and let the community know, and so you guys can send you guys can send applications directly to me. All right.
Great. So that is great. I think with this, maybe we can end this call. There is a question about the price prediction of VET and VTO. So I'm trying to avoid that question right now. But if there is any comments that you'll have to, that you want to make on this question, please go ahead.
Well, I don't give any financial advice in public. But I believe in VChain, so I'm definitely a VAT holder, a VAT and VIFO holders, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
If you believe the project, you do your
Uh,
research, you do your own research, and if you believe the project, you should own their token.
I'll say very, very appropriate answer, Peter.
No matter the price,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
believe,
exactly.
you hold.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
Yeah,
One of the best investment, tips that these guys are never gonna get.
yeah,
Believe and hold, right? So with this note, I think maybe we can end this conversation here and end this beautiful lecture here. I urge everybody to please join the Telegram groups. Please follow them on Twitter. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us, right? Uh, Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Peter, for being here. Thank you for your valuable time. Uh,
you're
I
welcome.
I know that the audience loved it. The questions, they were amazing from the audience as well. Thank you so much for being here. It was really enlightening. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, have a good night, guys. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.